Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money and whatever else bring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. Guitar Players Planet. 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 Guitar Players Planet.
What you thought was real
Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way that music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of new. Oh, na 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 na.
Someone to take me down at night, someone to make my day. New revelation fills my soul, oh, I can waste away. You distracting my attention, you're all that's on my mind. You looking for perfection, but you're too hard to find. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone new. don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. You're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, hide a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue, yeah. All right. Cat learns to ring a bell, rat gets free from the maze. We can be taught to love, we've got to learn a new way. I wanna see, I wanna be, don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late. You're gonna push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, add a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue, don't taste the kisses of hate. Don't try to tell me, don't try to sell me, don't try to say it's too late, late. Push me to the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, hide a little color, it's black and white and blue. Yeah, black and white and blue. You're gonna black and white on the edge, back me in a corner, making me stand in your shoes. Push me to the edge, hide a little color, it's black and white and blue. Black and white and blue.
What is up? Hey guys, what's up? Hump day! Hump day!
We just lost Dan.
We just lost Dan.
Nope, that was a glitch. I'm good. We there? Everybody there, right?
Yeah, we're here now.
All right, good. All right,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
We're good. All right, good. How's it going, everybody? What's going on? And I got a little light spasm over here. Very good. How's it going? We're back again for another Wednesday night at AstroWorld. We got a lot of good stuff going on. We got a lot of good. Eric's doing the background thing. Okay. You know, we got a full house. Now we got five. We got five. Tegan got the kids to bed early, and it was able to join us. So that, awesome, great to welcome Tegan. We got Scott, Pete, Eric. We got the whole gang here tonight. For those of you that haven't seen us in a couple of weeks, actually, I'm gonna share this, and I'm actually gonna kick you guys off because I got a little the amount of guests that we have coming on, I can't fit it on the ticker anymore. So I had to do a little like slide. So it may kick you guys off for a second, but let's see. There we go. And I'm gonna hide you guys for a second. So give me a second. So here you go. So just to make it a little bit bigger. So upcoming guests, we got The 9th, we got Dr. Sass from my telescope. We got the 25th, we got Rumen from the Indigo. Then we got on March 9th, we got Roland Archer from Voyager Software. On the 18th, we got Hendrik from StarAid. And we just booked live on the show last week Charles Bracken, who's the author of the Deep Sky Imaging Primer. He's going to be coming on. I'll still slide it on the bottom every once in a while, but I just wanted to throw it up there in case anybody wanted to see it. There we go. So, and then I'll put everybody back online now. I don't know what there we go. Deep Sky Imaging Primer. Yes, I have that as well.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of things going on. Another bit of good news. We have our first sponsor on board. We got Woodland Hills and Telescopes is sponsoring in part AstroWorld. That's a really nice thing to do. So welcome to the team over at Woodland Hills, and Tegan, I'm going to send you a proposal too, so you can send that up the chain if you want as well.
Okay.
And I'm going to send.
I thought you guys were already affiliates with High Point.
We're affiliated with High Point and not sponsored by. So sponsorship is a little bit of a different thing.
Okay.
But yeah, we do have an affiliate with High Point as well. Once the website actually goes live, and I have it on good authority, that the website is probably going to be online by Valentine's Day. So that's the whole thing. The calendar looks great. The sponsor page looks great. The blog looks awesome. So it's going to be a really, really cool destination, not only for AstroWorld stuff, but for anything else that anybody else is doing on the team. So Tegan, you put a video on at Rocky Mountain Astro. You can throw it on there and you can access it there. You can access Astro with Eric. You can access Astro Playground. Whatever you want to access, it'll all be there in one nonstop shopping kind of place.
Right on.
And so it's really I'm really excited. It's really turning out well, and I'll get rid of this picture because we don't need to see that anymore. But yeah, so it's going to be pretty awesome. So thank you to Farah and Pete over at Woodland Hills for sponsoring us, and you'll be seeing some little posts and stuff like that about Woodland Hills as well. So some other good news, and it's looking better and better for NEAF and NEAC. For those of you that know NEAF and NEAC, so NEAC is normally first. It is the Thursday and Friday before NEAF. NEAC is the Northeast Astro Imaging Conference. And basically, you get a whole bunch of speakers and talkers. So that we're still unsure. It's not on the website of who the speakers are going to be. So we're still waiting on the because they do workshops at night. They do a whole bunch of stuff going on. And it's a really, really great. I was supposed to go for the first time in 2019. And unfortunately, we know what happened with 2019 and 2020. So it seems like, and I got it again from the horse's mouth over at the people from NEAF, that as of today, it's still happening live. So keep your fingers crossed. It's going to be
That's the
interesting.
case. I got to get a new laptop.
Why?
If I'm going to go to NEAC, I'm going to have to install a PI on there and, do some, to sit there so I can follow, like Ron, whoever's going to be on there. And I need to get a powerful laptop, man. I can't take my POS laptop.
Well, you know what? So if you do show up, don't worry. We'll sit next to each other because I'm going. So, I mean, and I won't have to work. I'll be there because NEAF doesn't start until Saturday, Sunday, which is that's where I get my butt kicked. So, and I just heard that Charles Bracken, who is going to be one of our guests in April, if it goes on, it looks like he's going to be at NEAF selling his books too. So, that's going to be kind of cool. It's going to be hopefully everybody signs on for it. I know there's some nervousness about it, so. And who knows? Maybe in a future NEAF, you may see an AstroWorld table for $480. But who knows? Whatever.
It just and you know what? Sometimes thinking about going to a event like Neath, it's like my credit cards get really, really scared.
Well,
Everyone's does.
You're gonna max me out.
and for good reason. Your credit card, that's why I leave my credit cards at home.
I know, right?
It's like going to Vegas. I take the money I could afford to lose with me, and if I lose it all, I don't eat. It's okay.
Food or telescope.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, food or half on black. Go.
I know, right? No, brother. You always bet on black. Come on now.
Come on, snake eyes. Rolling. But yeah, so I haven't even been looking at chat. I've been having so much fun talking to you guys. I see a lot of people online. Somebody actually threw out a thank you to Camera Concepts. Brian bought a telescope. I'm still unsure. It's a carbon fiber, but he put an Explore Scientific N208. I don't know what that is, but it was a carbon fiber tube. I think that's the serial number, not the model number. But if you could tell me what that was. Do you guys sell guide scope cameras? Yes, we all do. So if you don't like me, you could always go with Tegan over at High Point. If you like me, you like Tegan. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just
matter.
Everybody hates Tegan, so don't.
That's awesome. You guys are nice.
No. Listen, we're all in the same thing here. High Point does a great job, and they have an awesome staff. If you may notice Tegan's face because he has been recently the face of the videos of High Point. And by the, I got to tell you, your last video was awesome. So nice job with that.
Yeah, really great job.
Yeah, really good.
Much appreciated.
No, you do a great job. So keep it going, man. You do it's awesome, and you keep it nice and short, concise, and you can tell you have it. And you can tell you're having fun, which is the best part about you. There was at one point where you're like, I'm so excited about it. I think that was a Red Cat 71 video where you but
and then he was like, the weather's not cooperating.
Because it took 4 weeks to gather 12 hours of freaking data.
Yeah, that's incredible. But let's see who we got. It looks like we got a new, maybe a new or somebody I haven't really noticed before. But Alan Rockowitz from Tucson, Arizona, is on. He is currently without a mount, whining about it, and he said it's cold as it's 46 degrees.
Yeah,
that's where Star Zone is based. And
question: How did Alan find out about it since he's new? I'm just curious.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be nice to know. Yeah, absolutely. How'd you hear out? Where'd you get the word out? So
yeah. And looks like Tom says he's got his 10 micron arriving next week.
Oh shoot!
GMS 2000.
Oh shoot! More toys, more cloudy skies.
You know what? That's it. More toys, more clouds. What's good? What are you doing? We want an image.
And our mascot Black Man is on. So Mark is on. Frank, Tom, you said Tarek, Chris. We got 21 people going on. Bloodstone. Holy cow! All right, I'm just going through all the chats. Chris said sent an email to AstroWorld. I'll check that out in a second. So speaking of toys, right? And I know you can't read it.
Oh, there they are.
You know you can't read it.
I can tell. I know the logo. I saw the logo, so we know it. So I know what that is.
So there's the 3 nanometers of the whole set. So my plan is, since I have the Anlias already, the 3 nanometer pros I have, I'm going to take my colors out and I'm going to throw these next to them. And I'm going to do maybe 6 or 7 minute shots on each filter of on the tack and see how it kind of see how it works out. So I'm excited, and I've heard, and I don't know, and if you've seen, if you haven't seen Sean Nielsen's new video on the update for these that he did, if you haven't seen it, check it out because he got it under authority that there is a second version of the O3 filter that has been coded differently because of some of the halo. What's that?
For Antilla?
No, for
Optolong.
Because there has been some discussion about the halos in the O3 with the brighter stars and all that. And so there is a version 2 of the filter. Now, apparently all of the ones that were shipped out before the holidays, because they're out for the Chinese New Year, I think it is.
Yeah.
So I've heard that all the ones that went out were the new version 2 ones. I'm hoping that's what I got. So we'll only know when we take a picture. So we'll figure that out.
This test is going to determine whether or not I go with Optolong 3 nanometer.
Well, this is going to determine which one I sell. So I mean, you know,
the stakes are high. Dan.
The stakes are really, really, really high. And and I gotta say, just on a side note, in pure Islander fashion, the Islanders are now losing 2-0 to the Seattle Kraken. So
the Cincinnati Bengals.
Unbelievable. Beat the good teams and lose to the crap. But anyway,
So here's the $1 million question.
Oh yeah.
How is it that the Chinese can celebrate 2 weeks of New Year's?
That is
explain that to me because I just don't understand it.
Well, if in all fairness, let's think about it. So they work on the Lunar New Year, which is only about 28 days in a cycle, right? Is that about right? So
something like that.
So 28 days in a cycle. So if you add all the days that they missed throughout the year, if you just made 28 days in a month, maybe that equals 2 weeks. I don't know. So they're just making up for lost time. That's what they're doing. So
if somebody knows, please.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I would just love to know why.
I don't know, but the Lunar New Year, they also call it. I think they also call it the Spring Festival, I believe. But it's their biggest holiday.
It is.
I mean, it's bigger than Christmas for them. It's bigger than anything.
Yep.
So they, and it's been this way for forever. So like how we here in the West, here in the West, we don't shut down, but the whole holiday season from like Christmas to New Year's and maybe a little bit beforehand, things get a little lighter, as far as work goes.
Yep.
They just shut down.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't care. They shut down, and they don't shut down for the whole 2 weeks. Usually, they shut down maybe that first week.
It's pretty much shut down for all 2 weeks. They don't.
It depends on the company. It depends on the company.
Well, I know. Well, ZWO, I know they're out.
Yeah, they're
2 weeks. They're out.
Yeah, they're out.
I got messages from 2 of the sales associates over there saying, Dan, make sure Jeff sends us a check so we can send these out before the new year. So so I called Jeff like 4 times and said, did you send the check? Did you do the wire transfer? I mean, come on. So it turns out I was in the store yesterday just for fun. I was in the area and I stopped in. And sure enough, they opened the box right in front of me. I was like, oh, you mean I could take one of these, right?
I can take one, right? I can take a set of these, right? Yeah.
So,
we saw the picture that you sent.
Oh yeah. So, and then I picked up.
Is that the 2600?
No, it's not. It's a way cheaper one.
$294.
No, cheaper than that.
What?
That's the only thing cheaper than that. That's a cool one. Yeah. So you picked it out. So 183. And the reason why I got this was for I wanted something with really small pixels. For my
183 is a good camera.
Yeah, it's a good camera. And I had a QHY 183, but I got rid of it because of that damn collar that made everything spin. But it was just horrible. So I got rid of that. Yeah, Tegan knows what I'm talking about. He's like, so just to give you a little example on the QHY 183, and I don't want to bash QHY. I love QHY cameras. I have 3 of them. So I love them. But with the there's like a little kind of like bayonet in the front of the 183, kind of where it's like a V kind of. So it's made to go fit into like a female to kind of latch down a little bit. And there's threads inside. There's M42.
M42.
Yeah, M42. M42. But here's the thing. If your thread depth isn't long enough, it won't hit the bottom of the camera, so the thing just spins and spins. It's like a wheel of fortune. You just spinning it, and so
changing your rotation or your field of view is
dude, it's horrible.
Oh, jeez.
So I had to add like some spacers and stuff in there. I had to find the exact. And so I finally found one that actually worked, but I had to go through my whole closet of death to find one. But
now is that the mono or the color that you got?
This is actually the color. This is going to be put on probably my lenses.
Yeah,
nice.
So like the 200L, that kind of thing. And then it's going to be slightly undersampled, but with the wide field of view, I'm not too worried about it.
You can't get smaller than 2.4.
No. I think if I put it on the 200, I think I'm at 2.26.
Yeah, and you got to do some seriously short exposures because that's got a really small well.
Yeah, it's only 15K, I think.
Yeah, it is.
So and again, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
So yeah,
even on my with my nude, I paired the 183 mono with my nude. Those pixels are small, so I was at f3.9. I was still exposing, I think, for 2 minutes for LRGB.
At 3.9?
Right. Yeah, 2 minutes and 10 or 15 minutes for narrowband. But
okay,
no, that's fine. I mean, even if I could do 2 minutes with my 200, well, because I'm going to be at, well, I might not even be able to do that because the 200L is f1.8. So. So
30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But that it'll all be that kind. And you know what? If I do 130 seconds, that's fine. I'm okay with that because it's all going to be wide field anyway.
Right.
So I think it's going to be a good matchup because then I'm going to grab the 268, which is coming. That's going to go on my 127, and then I'm going to move the QHY 16200 to the soon to be coming the 9 1/4 edge. So that's gonna be cool. So I'm gonna have a good spread now of focal length and matched cameras. I literally spent, me and Pete were talking about it for like a half an hour trying to figure out, oh man, I got all these cameras, I don't have enough scopes. I need another scope. so I'm gonna have the 0.7 on the 9 1/4, have the reducer on that.
Yep.
I'll have the 127 with the 268 mono, and so it's gonna be. I'm in for a good summer. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I hope so. Yeah, hopefully so. You're gonna So you've got the EQ6 and you've got the EQ8, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So the plan is maybe, if I'm ambitious enough to do this, to piggyback the Esprit on top of the 127, and then get some color data with my narrowband and do all that all at the same time.
Nice.
So that's the plan. And as for the Edge, that will go standalone. I'm not going to
on top of your Esprit.
I think that's going to stay by itself, and then we'll just do it that. So I've spoken for about 20 minutes here. What have you guys been up to?
Well, we were talking earlier. I've got the new Celestron dew heater ring, so I have that now, and it's on the Edge 8.
Wait a minute. You got yours?
Yeah, I got mine.
On that.
I got mine.
Where did you buy yours?
Scott, it's an 8.
It's an 8-inch.
It's an 8.
Not a 25.
It's not a massive, 28-inch SCT.
Well, you see, the thing is and this is where I don't understand some of the ordering techniques we do over where I work, but order 15 8s, 2 6s, and 2 5s. That's it.
No,
I
I
don't
don't.
know, the 9 1/4s.
I didn't place the order. Don't ask me. I don't know. I would have ordered probably like 10 of each. And just
Yeah.
forget the 5. Don't give me like 2 of the 5s. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, the smaller ones. Yeah, get a couple of the small 5s and the 6s, and get more of the 8s, 9 1/4s, 11s, and 14s. So that's your bread and butter. Those are the main ones.
Yep. So Scott, yours is coming. I'm sorry, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. I only work there 1 day a week, so help me out. There's only so much I can do at 1 day a week. I mean. If it was my full-time gig, you would have been taken care of, but it's not, unfortunately.
Mark say,
I did.
Go in there tomorrow and bash some heads.
At this, thank God it's Celestron and not ZWO, where they wouldn't even look at the order until February 24th.
That's true.
So
it's true.
Yeah. Speaking of ZWO, I'm waiting for their 533.
The 533 mono?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm really contemplating it, man.
So I've contemplated this for the past 3 days, and sensor size wise, I think it's almost identical to the 183. It has a 15.5 or maybe a 16 millimeter diagonal, so pretty small sensor. But that being said, like, it's a 9 megapixel at 3.76 microns.
Yeah.
Perfect for Newtonians or SCTs. No amp glow, no modeling, so I don't have to worry about any of that crap I'm dealing with right now with the 294. And plus, if I'm imaging with my new, I crop anyways, so I don't have to bend, so I'm not down to 2 point however many megapixels, 14-bit. I think I'm going for it.
Yeah, I tell you,
man. Do it.
That's the one thing that I struggle with the 294 is I don't know what it is with the 294, but the flats on a 294 mono are horrendous.
They're rough.
I mean, I just did my HA flats for my tadpole, right? Because I'm doing HO. I'm doing HOO.
Mm-hmm.
The oxygen looked fine, but the hydrogen, oh my god, it looks like it's like an ink blot.
Yeah.
And and apparently this is something that a lot of other people have been dealing with too. It's like you're going in, to get your head shrunk and go to counseling, because when you take these flats, they're saying, what do you see when you see this flat picture?
I see some hard work and shit. I
mean, it's just crazy, So
only in the hydrogen and sulfur. Is what me and you.
2/3 of the filters.
Yeah. I mean,
honestly, like, if I'm being completely honest about the 294, a 48 megapixel camera it's awesome to have, especially if you have a wide field refractor. I love using it I love the camera, but the modeling in the S2 channel, especially for wide field, is like deterring me from going out and getting like data. If it's clear out, I'm like, I'm waiting for something to replace it. It's tough, but
yeah.
So, Pete, you were going to say something? I'm sorry.
Oh, no. It's just like Chris came up with, is the 294 equals a Rorschach test.
Oh.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's insane what this thing looks like. I mean, if I could show it.
And that's the mono, right, Derek?
Yeah, and this is the mono.
That's the mono.
So here, I'm going to share my screen so you can get you guys, if you haven't seen this,
I can
get an idea of what this looks.
I was looking to bring up a flat frame too. Pixel that's not working for me.
Yeah. So let me know when you guys see it. Okay. So let me go here. Here's one of the flat frames. This is only 5 seconds.
Oh man, that's way worse than mine. There's like a pin on there. Nope.
Whoa.
What the hell is that?
Exactly.
Oh my God, what is that?
Filter?
It looks like a
This is
butterfly.
a hydrogen alpha.
That's like a butterfly that got hit with an RPG.
I mean, it's it's nuts, right?
Put on the windshield, right?
Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, and the oxygen looks nothing. I mean, it looks nothing like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go to my oxygen, here, let me go to one of the oxygens. There's an oxygen.
Okay, I can deal with that.
Yeah, that's odd.
That's oxygen. But with hydrogen, it's like, this is insane. I don't get it.
Wow.
Yeah, my sulfur looks way worse than my oxygen or my hydrogen, but
yeah, and it's yeah.
Oh my God.
That's about it.
Hydrogen, and there's the HA.
That looks like somebody coated it with a paintbrush.
I know, right?
if have you tried not shooting flat frames? Because that's what I have.
Have I tried not shooting flat frames?
So that's what I've been doing. Not with my HA, because the modeling isn't nearly that bad, but for my S2, it is that bad. And when I shoot flat frames and apply them, and no matter what I use, PixInsight, Deep Sky Stacker, it doesn't correct it. It makes it look worse. So what I do, I just don't use sulfur flat frames, and I go through to my final sulfur stack, and I apply just gradient removal around the edges, or either of those gradient removal tools in PixInsight, and I do the best I can there instead of applying flat frames, and it does look considerably better.
And I think this is one of the reasons why, I wanted, because I'm still relatively new compared to a lot of other guys to mono. When I first started out, the majority of my cameras are all one-shot color, so this is my first real mono camera, and I really honestly thought I was doing something wrong, and then I started asking others. They're like, no, this is everybody.
Eric, Mark asked what viewer that was that you were using to look at the picture.
Oh, this was, what was it? This is the Fitz Liberator. Fitz Liberator.
Oh, Fitz Liberator?
Yeah.
There you go, Fitz Liberator.
Yep, the ESO, ESA, NASA Fitz Liberator.
I guess.
Yeah. So, so it's like, I'm really thinking, should I sell this guy and start thinking about like a 2600 mono, or just sell all of my monos, get rid of everything?
Don't do it, man. You're gonna want it. You can do the same thing. Don't do it, please.
I know.
3 months later, you're gonna be crying. Oh man, I missed the resolution of a mono camera.
The resolution and the detail of mono. Or maybe I'll just go get a 533 mono and just be done.
Yeah.
Be done with it. That's what I'm doing.
Just get a 533 mono, and because it's going to be under $1,000, and just be done.
Yeah, right.
You think so? I mean, heck, what is it? It's like
$12.99.
It's $8.99 right now.
The color. $8.99 the color. So you figure like another 100, maybe 11.
You think they're gonna jump at $400 for the mono?
Think so?
Or $11.99. Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I have no idea. They said Q1, so there's no news on when they're going to release it. But
the one thing I've always hated about, and that's another reason why I know, Eric, you've had the 533 for a while already. I just can't get past the square. I can't get past the square center.
Yeah, I know you can't get past the square.
When is there going to be a ASI 6 micro 4/3 14 or 16-bit sensor backlit with no amplo, no modeling, like an upgraded ASI 1600 that's supposed to be the 294, I suppose, but it's not.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
Where is it? Like, that's what we want.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure. So I don't know what
right now, but ZWO is not listening because they're partying.
What was that? What was that?
Holiday.
What was that box that Simon took a picture of? The case.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I thought that was box 33.
No, well, the case is like this thick. So I don't know. It might be an AM5, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's
Uh-huh.
a head for the AM5. I don't know, but he said he's going to do some sort of reveal. I was like, all right. We're all guessing on what's inside that case.
Yeah.
He won't tell anybody.
I don't know. Chris, yeah, you can use 1 1/4 on the 533. So 1 1/4 because it's a 1-inch sensor, so you have no problem there. Let's see. There was Josh is the 2600 is made by ZWO.
Yep.
So they have both mono and color and one-shot color. So yeah.
Yep.
And from what I understand, it's an awesome camera if you get the one that doesn't have any leaks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As long as you get one that doesn't have leaks. What is with the leaks? Is it oil? Is it some sort of oil or lubricant or something?
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Exactly what it is.
Jeez.
Yeah.
They
And
fixed
I already had, yeah, they did fix it, but you never know with the people that have a lot of cameras on there how long that camera's been sitting on a shelf for. So just just be careful.
Yeah.
But anything that's gone out recently has all been fixed. So if you got a new camera that just got this, that's all been fixed. I've had people that come in. I mean, I had one. I think Frank Longo, I think it was, and he came in with the same thing, just oil, just all the way down the glass, right in front of the sensor. And I just said, let's see, you know what, we can't break it anymore, so let's see if we can clean it off and see what happens.
Yeah.
Get some of my nice cleaner with the nice little brush and my little scope and blah, blah, blah. Clean it off very nice and like a nice little
There's sensor swabs.
Yep, the little nice kind of thing, and it came off. It came off nice. I had to use about 6 or 7 swabs because I didn't want to just smear stuff. But it worked perfectly, and he's taking great shots with it. Some of his shots have been on the AstroWorld page. So I mean,
there's this compound that I purchased. I don't know the name off the top of my head. It's this red compound that you can actually use on sensors and glass, and it hardens slightly, where you can pour this basically in an area like to help lift dirt off, lift fingerprints, all that stuff. But it's supposed to be kind of flammable too. So you got to be careful with it. But
do not do this with the camera on.
But I heard it's really popular. It's not cheap. I'll have to look in my box box of stuff to let you guys know what it is. But I think Neef is actually, one of the sponsors of Neef is this company that's selling this stuff, or either that or I saw it on even in the Astronomy magazine. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's right here. I'll have to find it.
Okay.
But that's supposed to be really good for cleaning sensors and your glass and stuff like that.
Yeah, Chris, the peel off stuff. Yeah, so that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And
hold on, it's bugging me. I want to know what.
Okay, go get it. So just so, and since Eric's gone, I may as well put a plug in for the raffle. So don't forget on the 11th. That's 9 days from tonight. We're doing the raffle for the planetary camera by Player One. This is the Neptune C2 camera. It's basically a $290 $5 raffle. And I'll put all the information downside. But if you want to know more about the raffle, come on down. We got about 25 entries so far. And it also comes with the IR cut filter, 1 1/4 inch IR cut filter. So you get up to 10 chances, $5 a chance, and there you go. So don't forget that. I'll start. What is that called?
It's called First Contact by Photonic. By Photonic Cleaning Technologies. It's out of Platteville, Wisconsin. It's called First Contact, and it's this solution. Here, I'll just bring out one of them here. That there's 3 different bottles. One's a thinner and a couple other things, and you have these solutions.
Looks like nail polish.
It looks like nail polish, right? They're like nail polish. And you put this on your sensor or on your glass or what have you, and you have these strips, these white strips here that you'll put on here onto it. You have these little white strips, and basically you have that attached, and then once it's kind of dried off, you can actually peel it. It solidifies, and you can actually peel it in a way comes any dirt, fingerprints, anything off the sensor, what have you. It's supposed to be totally safe for sensors, glass, all that stuff.
Cool. That's cool. And I think you're right. That name does sound familiar from me, Photronics.
Yeah.
That name does sound familiar because
Photonic cleaning solution, cleaning technologies. So yeah.
All right, definitely something to take a look at.
Yeah, so I would recommend take a look at it.
But I would like to, now that we're about 40 minutes in, I'd like to get to the topic. That we had a question online. We had a question online about. I thought about this while we were talking offline. It said, to stack or not to stack? That is the question. So the question is, how do we determine what is a good light to stack, and what would you consider to be garbage, and how would you go about making that assessment in the different platforms that we have, such as the ASI Air or SGP? Can you do this in flight? I guess you could say. Can you do it on the fly and look at these things and how would you go about doing that? That was a question that somebody had that was on the. It sent me an email later on this last week, and he had that question. Basically, what he's doing, and Eric, you and I spoke about this right before.
Yeah.
And I kind of knew the answer already of what you kind of had to do. But why don't you go into, when you're done with the ASI Air, how do you, I guess, come down to what you're going to stack and what you're going to, mark as bad or thumbs down or whatever?
Yeah. So with the ASI Air, what you can do is you can actually go, if before you put it into your computer, anything like that, if you want, you can do your checks. It's not the best method. I would recommend, extracting your data and putting into something like PixInsight, or a post processing, or some type of software, APP or what have you, to actually analyze these FITS files, these light files. But you can go into image management, either onto your USB flash drive or onto the SD card, whatever media you actually did your imaging on, and you can actually examine your lights there. Okay, and then you can select which ones you want to keep. You can delete them right there, or you can, just go ahead and import and do all of whatever you want to do there. But you can go and do a lot of the image management and work you want to do beforehand on the ASI Air. But again, I would recommend just copying everything that you have onto your computer, and then just running, if you have PixInsight or maybe even FITS Liberator, where you can actually look at your FITS file, because FITS Liberator is free. If you're going to be using something like or with Deep Sky Stacker, I don't know if you can actually look very much with a Deep Sky Stacker, but you can, like I said, with FITS Liberator or some of those free tools that you can look at and examine at your FITS there, then clean up what you don't like, and then move on to like Deep Sky Stacker, PI, or APP, or whatever other processing software you're going to use.
Okay, so go ahead, T.
In Deep Sky Stacker, what you can do is, and I know Dylan O'Donnell, I think, kind of made a video about this. You put all your FITS files into Deep Sky Stacker. You register them. It kind of scores them. You don't stack them, and then you can see like your star count, your sky background. And typically, like, if you have an average star count of 300 or 400, but there's a couple frames that have like 50 or 60.
Cloud
or haze, exactly. And to eliminate those out of your final stack. That's Deep Sky Stack.
Yeah, and one cool thing I like about AstroPixel Processor is everything is tabbed, and you can go step by step. So if you wanted to, you can load your FITS files, all those FITS files, and you can run a star analysis on those. And you can then, with that star analysis, it can give you a lot of information there, and you can go through and it'll score them, right? It'll do scoring for you. So recommend which ones you want to integrate, which ones which ones if you say you only want to take a certain percentage of your files, and you only want to integrate, and you want to have it say integrate maybe the top or the 95% or 90% of them. Then it'll go through and it'll analyze everything and it'll say, okay, out of that 100%, here's the 10% that we don't recommend you integrate.
Yep.
And you can then you can look at those and check them out because maybe there's some star trailing, or because of there are certain issues with the star sizes, maybe they're a little bloated or pixelated or whatever. It's going to go through that analysis and say, okay, these are the ones that we think you shouldn't use.
Yeah.
So you can do that. The same thing with PixInsight. You can do blank, and you can also do subframe selector.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with the sub. I actually have, I have it. So again, subframe selector and blank, I kind of use in conjunction with each other because I just don't like to take the computer at its word. But it will give you a good look at. So if I could share my screen a little bit, I'll show you a little bit, and it works almost the same way as what Tegan was talking about with Deep Sky Stacker, because it gives you a lot of the same information. It gives you the FWHM, it gives you the amount of stars, it gives you eccentricity values, and it gives you all that kind of stuff that you're going to need to kind of realize, well, you know what? If I have a high eccentricity, then my stars are elongated, and they're not going to be good for stacking. If I have a high FWHM, maybe that's a soft focus frame, so you're going to kind of want to look at that. But I have something planned for this, and if I could just show my screen real quick, share screen one. Now these settings, and I got to tell you, I didn't come up with this on my own. This I actually got some of the stuff from Amy Astro's video on the subframe selector. So if you haven't seen it, take a look at it. And I'm missing part of the subframe selector. Where is it? It might be on my other screen. All right, let me close this out. Hold on a second. Let's close this out. Let's close this out. Okay, so now if you take a look up here, I have two subframe selector processes up here. And one is for one camera, one is for another camera. And the reason why I have that is because some of the eccentricity and FWHM values are going to be different of what's acceptable and what's not for each camera, for me. So I kind of tweaked it a little bit. So I figured out, okay, what eccentricity for that camera I am okay to go with, or what FWHM is going to be okay. So when I click on this, and they're all going on my other screen for some reason, and I don't know why. Give me 1 second. Let me put it on my other screen real quick. Of course, this is happening live now. that everything's messing up. Oh, I see. It's all the way over on the other side. Hold on a second. This is not going to work. Okay. I apologize, guys.
Jar Jar Binks. I haven't seen
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah. You never saw my Jar Jar? That's my Jar Jar horse head. So somebody would like say, "Oh, that's a great pic. That picture looks like Jar Jar." So I actually went in there. I got a picture of Jar Jar and I made it black and white and put him in there.
That's awesome.
So let me see. Maybe if I restart, let me restart PixInsight and let's see, PIX. Of course, this happens while we're doing live. It worked right before, and now I got the Higgins glitch going. So, open recent project files, new project. Okay. There we go. Okay, they're all the way on the other screen. Now I can get them over. For some reason, I must have closed them out. Okay, so you're going to get three screens when subframe selector comes up. Now, if you take a look at here, you could go into expressions here and you could add what criteria you want. So what's I consider acceptable for this camera, and this is for the 16200 QHY. For my setup, an FWHM of less than 6 and an eccentricity of less than 0.75 is acceptable to me. And you could change that for the camera you want. You could change if you don't like 0.75 and you're seeing oblong stars, maybe you got to drop it down to 0.5.
Now you kind of have to understand what kind of results your equipment produces to
Correct.
be able to decide what stays and what goes.
Correct. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull up some pictures, and I'm going to show you why 0.75 is a good number for this camera. And I'm going to show you why this number is good for this camera. So I'm going to add some files from the Veil Nebula that I had, which is right here. So this is a H alpha, and I'll just add a couple of them. I'm going to add that many, and we can talk while it's okay. And you just got to put this on measure subframes first. You want it to measure it first and kind of critique it. So when you're done with that and you got your settings done, you can just go to that, and it's going to start the process. Okay, and it's going to take a little bit, but what it's doing, actually, it did it a little bit faster because I did it once before, so it had it in its memory a little bit. But it's going to come up with kind of like the same thing that Stephen was talking about with PixInsight. It's going to come up with your SNR weights, your point spread function weights. What I really look at is over here is the FWHM, which is a measure of your focus, and the eccentricity, which is a measure of the shape of your stars. Okay, so right now it's telling me that these ones with the green check marks are the ones that are acceptable. And if I scroll down, all these ones with the red X's are not acceptable. All right, so let's take a look at one that's, if you want to see an acceptable one, all you got to do is click on it up there and it'll bring it up. So we can look at it here.
Can you compare two? One that is and one
I'm going to, yeah. So here is an acceptable one. And we'll zoom in and we'll look at the stars, and the stars look pretty round. You know, not bad. They look pretty good. This may be an acceptable thing to stack as far as I'm concerned. And if you look at the numbers, the FWHM is 2.6 and the eccentricity is under 0.75. So it's a 0.7. So it's right on the border, though. You can kind of start to see maybe a little bit of elongation there. So maybe I have to lower it for this one. So now let's take a look at 0.8, because this is now one that's an X. It's going to kick it. So the 0.8 one is here. So we'll open that up. Okay, and you'll see that okay. See that?
Well, there you go.
See that? See all that? So do I really want to stack this information with good data? I wouldn't want to do that. But let's even take a look at one that's closer to the border. Let's take a look at, where is it? 0.67. That's pretty close to the border, right, of 0.75. So let's take a look at this one and see if my settings are still decent. So if I take a look at it, I can still see at 0.76 some elongation of the stars. So 0.75 may be still an okay thing, because we looked at 0.71, I believe. And 0.71, even 0.71 may be a little bit too close. Maybe I need to lower it to 0.70. But that looks okay, I think. I think I can get away with that. Got a little cosmic ray over here, it looks like. But that's what you can do with this. And then what you could do is later on is you could blink them later and use your expressions here on the criteria that you want. Now you can change this to whatever you want. When you hit this, where is it? Oh, where's the expressions? I forgot where the expressions were. And Pedestal format hits opposite. Oh, you know what I did? I just did a whatchamacallit, a pixel math, and I copied it in here, if I remember right. Okay. So, and then you just got to remember to hit the play button. If you make any changes, you need to hit the play button, or else it won't apply. So that's a little bit with the subframe selector. Oh, what's that banging? What is that?
That's APP.
Oh.
I was going to share my screen. I was going to show you something as well here.
You know, you got to take my screen off. Stop sharing. There we go.
Okay. So, in an actual pixel processor, and guys, I'm not an expert in this, but I'll show you basically what we can do if you use Astro Pixel processor, and it helps analyze your information so you can make decisions on what to integrate and what not to integrate. So if I share my screen here. So here is Astro Pixel processor, and what you'll do is once you set your working directory, and you set your algorithm. The algorithm will be, if you're using a monochrome camera, you can choose whatever. If you're using narrowband filters, or if you're doing RGB, you will usually choose adaptive binary disk. If it's a color camera, you would choose the bare pattern. If not, you would just simply say supported, and you would load those respective flats. Not flats, but lights, and set whatever channels they are. But right now I'm doing hydrogen alpha. And what you'll do is you can go and you can do tab number 3 here, which is analyzing your stars. And I just put in maybe 8 lights of what I'm doing here. So let me just drop over this. And I ran this, and it gives you information as far as the star density, and it also gives you your FMH or FWHM, the minimum and maximums, to let you know, okay, relatively how large your stars are, how much in focus they are, and then you can then also do a normalization. And when you do the normalization, it'll check the background of your lights, as well as it'll rate your signal to noise ratio. It'll do star registration, and then it'll give you also a quality score. And when you have your quality score, it's going to also take a look at and set up a reference. So out of all of those lights, it's going to set your reference image. And then from there, you can take a look at those scores and then decide when you're ready to integrate. You can go here to 6 integrate and choose which, say I've got 100% here, you can lower this down to whatever you want, to whatever percentage of lights you want to stack. And then it'll begin to remove those lower scored lights.
Yep.
Okay, so if I did all of this here, now it says integrate. You saw this one here. And if I went down to, say, 75 or 68%, now you begin to see it's starting to remove those lower quality scored numbers.
That's pretty cool.
So the question is that this is after capture, but let's say now that I want to do real time analyzing. So this is where like Maxim and Prism will come in.
Okay.
And if I want to bring up Prism, do I just hit the share button?
Yeah, share whatever screen you want to share.
Whatever screen you want. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see, window. There it is, right here. So let's see here now. You can see here I'm in Prism. Unfortunately, I don't have an image because my portable hard drive is on my desktop. But you can see here that if I hit the analysis, this is the analysis menu. So what will happen is in real time, you'll be able to get your image. And you can actually come up with statistics. You can come up with centroids here. You can come up with plate solving. You can see 4-corner reduction for a quick collimation check. You can measure field tilt and curvature. You can check your optical collimation. You can measure distance, quality check for stellar image and planetary image, and also your stellar sharpness. So
Wow.
this will help you out in real time.
That's a lot of information. That's a lot of detailed information.
And what it will do then is it will actually you can put it into a graph if you want to, and you can actually keep it as an Excel spreadsheet. So that is something that Prism will definitely allow you to do. And I think that once we get Hamza, we'll have him definitely do a little talk about that. But that's typically what I'll use if I want to just do real time on my images.
And
Nice.
then and that's a total image acquisition package, right?
Exactly. It is image acquisition. It's actually processing. You can do processing like Maxim DL.
Okay.
It's an all-encompass package, and it actually has its own planetarium program. Not as good as like Stellarium or the SkyX, but it's an all-encompass package. So once we get Hamza on, we'll definitely have him just go do a whole presentation on it.
You're gonna make me learn another piece of software, Pete? Really?
That's the point. You just got to find out what you're comfortable with and just stay with it.
Regarding that analysis tab, I guess I've always wondered this too. If you're using a subframe to test collimation, how does it analyze to differentiate between elongation and tracking, out of focus, and collimation? How does like let's say your guiding is what you think is good, but it's not perfect. How does it know between elongation and collimation? Does it just check the averages of the stars across the entire frame?
Basically, that's what it's doing. Is it's just going to check out the stellar averages right across the frame.
Huh.
But the beauty about also, right now the big thing that you always hear about is tilt, and the thing that you have to understand with tilt is that when you do your tilt analysis, it will give you your tilt as a percentage. And anything up to about 20%, you're not going to be able to notice tilt. Once you get into that 25 to 30%, that's when tilt starts to get noticeable. So that's the other thing that you're going to be able to see here with this as well. And so what we'll do is I've reached out to Hamza to say, Hamza, return Dan's email because we want to have him come on presentation on the Prism package.
Yeah,
and the beauty is
absolutely.
Prism's pretty good because it's an 80-day trial program. I mean, 80 days. You can just go ahead, download it, and just use it, the full advanced version.
Prism is nice.
I have not used it yet. I'm still kind of playing with Nina. So,
does Nina have anything for real-time star analysis?
It does have some stuff, but it's very limited. It's not even close to the depth that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes, even Sequence Generator Pro. I know it has your full width half max, your stars HFR rating.
Yep.
And I believe it has your star count.
I think you're right.
And that's just in a small panel and under like statistics or something. But
it's statistics. Yep.
Yeah, you could from that maybe determine whether a frame is all good or bad to get rid of. But like Prism, that's a lot of good data there. And these stacking softwares, PixInsight and APP or DSS, or I guess Prism as a capture software in this case, I would say doing all of that post capture, that analysis post capture is the best way to determine whether a frame is good. You should keep it or
like Eric says, I like APP because it gives you that whole that whole analysis that you've got post process.
Yeah, and some of these subframe selector is, each of these have their own features that are good, and helpful, So subframe selector has its perks, Maxim has its, and APP has its. So it just depends. And as you get comfortable with one, you may be able to, the more you get comfortable with one or versus another, you'll be able to, work with that software and know, okay, these lights are good, these lights are not so good. And you can spend a little more time, with those not so good lights, analyze them. But again, I also like this scoring method that APP has. So if I wanted to, say I've got 200 lights here, I can say, okay, I only want the best 80% of them, and it'll just scrub out the bad that 20% that it feels don't score high enough. So it helps save that, so it can save you a little bit of time there. So
Yeah, I'm gonna show you.
they all have the good points and bad points.
Let's see. I'm gonna show one more thing. I'm gonna try and see if I can find a bad one first because I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'm gonna see if I can find a bad one real quick. Let me see. Measure.
Well, relationship to Tom here. Now that he's getting that 10 micron mount, he'll be saving 100% of his subframes.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Haze and clouds aren't
That's true.
not all
Yeah.
mounts can, you can't mount through a cloud.
Nope.
No, unless you get that new filter from OPT, the Icarus.
Yeah. The Icarus filter.
Remember that?
or you could always buy the itty bitty radio telescope. You could buy that, but here you go. So you were talking about tilt before, right? And curvature. Now this is another program called CCD Inspector, which you can get a lot of information. So basically, all you do is you'll load up your fit file, you dump it in there, and you hit measure, and it will measure a whole bunch of stuff on this. Now I'll give you an example. The one thing I love about this is the plotting map on it. So if I would just want to look at a curvature map for this item, well, this is a really good curvature and tilt picture. This nice blue, I have a little bit in the corner over here that's a little bit brighter. But if you take a look, my tilt is almost non-existent.
Yeah.
It's almost, my curvature is about 8%. And all that I could deal with.
Yeah.
That I could deal with. That's probably the best. The total tilt is 4%.
What camera and scope? What's your imaging train here?
This was the QHY 16200 and the 80 Esprit, I think. It was a small scope. But if you take a look at something else, same image train, another night, this is another target as well. I shouldn't have, this is M16. You can look at the picture, but if you go into the curvature of this one, now you can see I got a little bit of a tilt there.
Yeah.
Low on the horizon?
It could have been. I don't remember exactly. It could have been, and it could have been anything like that. It could have been the positioning of the rotation, the telescope that was just like bending too far with the big ass filter wheel that it has on it. It could have been anything like that. But you can see the difference between a 4% and a 9% tilt.
Yeah.
Right.
I took a picture the other day where I just took it completely out of whack, and it actually goes into the like pinks. This will turn pink color. So you go over 30% tilt, and it turns a completely different color. But I did that on purpose. But I mean, there are ways to get around this.
But you're fine, Dan. 9% tilt, you won't notice it. It's when you get up to about 25 to 30%, that's when you're going to really be noticeable. You'll see that in your image.
And what you'll see in tilt is one side of the image is a little bit
Sharper,
more focused than the other side.
Correct. And that's why, and many astrophotographers out there, including probably everybody that's talking right now, are very, very, very anal about their numbers and kind of making things good. So I like to get my tilt as low as possible. Unfortunately, throughout the course of the night, as you're slewing across the sky, your tilt is going to change probably, unless you have a tilt plate or something that will counteract the effect of that.
This is one of the features of CCD Inspector. This one here is what a lot of the people that are in my RASA group, for example.
Oh yeah, you need it with the RASA.
They use it, especially with the RASA 8, because the RASA 8 is known for having tilt issues.
Yeah.
With its cameras.
Yep.
So that's why you see so many new things coming out, like the Artesky filter, the Artesky filter holder. You have the filter slider, from Starizona, which was known to have tilt. And that's why you also hear about people removing the felt from the back of the flange, going metal to metal on
Yep.
because that flange and that the cushion of that flange causes tilt, and stuff like that. So lots of different things, So CCD Inspector is one of the tools that a lot of RASA 8 users use to measure out that tilt, because it is one of the banes of that telescope.
Yeah.
And it also brings up another good question about when I put together optical trains. Everybody says, well, Pete, why don't I just put a series of 2 or 3 different adapters? Well, every time you have 2 or 3 different adapters, every time you join those adapters, that's a weak point. That's going to cause potential sag. And that brings up another question. Do we talk about maybe just having threaded instead of bolted, or instead of compression rings with set screws? All of these things are going to contribute. So I've always made it a point that I always like to have threads. If I can narrow down the number of adapters and make sure they're threaded, you're going to eliminate the potential for having tilt.
One of the weak points in my imaging train, I know, is the ZWO off-axis guider, which has those 3 connection points with the bolts.
Yep.
And that's, with my Newtonian, I've tried using a guide scope, but I always get flexure, even at like 2 minutes, and I put in the OAG and it's fixed. But I know that is 100% my weak spot. I'm scared to put my data into CCD Inspector.
well, if you want to send me a picture, I'll be happy to run it for you, and I'll keep it.
Okay, yeah.
So Tegan, you're saying that the off-axis, because the ZWO off-axis guider is one of your causes for the tilt.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go grab my OAG real fast. I'll show you real fast.
Yep. Yeah, because I'll be interested in hearing it because I've got one right here too.
If anybody,
yeah,
go ahead,
it's got the
John.
three bolts on it there. That
okay, these 3 bolts here.
Yeah, and it's like any off-axis guider. Even the Astrodon Monster Moag has 4 M2 set screws, and you have to torque those down because once again that AP 2.7 threads is holding that whole camera on there. So this is the thing about these Chinese OAG. Personally, I would never use them because of those 3 little set screws that are holding those in there. Mm-hmm. You're always going to get potential to have that flexure because that's just nothing secure to hold that in place.
So this is the imaging train I use on my Newtonian. I have the Skywatcher coma corrector, but you'll see immediately this is the 294, the 7 by inch and a quarter filter wheel, 7 by 8 filter wheel, the ZWO standard OEG. This isn't the large version. You'll see the three set screws here.
Yep.
Loosen these. I'm probably introducing tilt already. What you'll see is, I don't know if you can see it. There's 1, 2, 3 little sprouts that come out of the. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Of the OAG.
Yeah.
And each of these, they clamp on to them.
Got it.
But there's 2 issues here. These are rounded, so any kind of slippage is gonna
create the slip fitting
in itself. But this metal, this casting, isn't very hard. So over time, if it slips or if you're tightening these too tight, it creates divots inside of the.
Oh wow!
Yep.
If you can see,
sure
you can see the scratches.
Yeah, I can see the scratches.
Like over time, like those small imperfections, they add up, and it's really frustrating. But
I'm looking at it even here on mine. Yeah, no, you're right.
I got a new one. This is my 3rd ZWO OAG, and this is the first time I've actually taken it off. So if I get tilt, this is everyone else's fault. But
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Tegan, because it's like when I have to do retrofits, say, like right now I got this Takahashi 130. I'm doing a retrofit. I'm going to go ahead and take the existing stock focuser off, replace it with a Feather Touch FTF 3515.
Nice.
And I don't want to have the end cap because once again, the end cap's a compression fitting, right?
Yep.
Same situation. So what I've done is I've got a precise parts that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just thread right on to the back of the focuser so that once again, it's a thread fitting, not a bolt fitting, not a compression fitting, because those two are always weak points.
And,
So
and another thing I find about compression fitting, you have the OAG here, the ZW OAG, which may introduce tilt. Plus, like with my Skywatcher coma corrector, you slide this into the focuser, and it's also compression fitting.
Compression fitting.
I've put, it's not even compression fit, it's bolt. I bought a compression fit, but it's still maybe a 20% upgrade to what I had. But even when you put it in, you can, wiggle it back and forth just a tad. So, I mean, I put a very thin layer of masking tape around the, to hold it, and that kind of secures it a little bit. But again, this is another variable, so I don't know which is giving me tilt, the coma corrector, or is it my off-axis guider?
Well, do you even know if you actually have you ever measured the tilt in any of your images?
So I did have significant amount of tilt. Like it was pretty bad. I bought a new OAG. I put the masking around my coma corrector, and I'll have to send you a frame because I'm not sure. It looks pretty even from side to side. It's just, I think at this point, collimation that I'm dealing with.
Okay.
But that's far out from the edges of my field of view. So I crop anyways for most of my time. So that's not an issue.
But yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to send me, send me a photo and you don't want to run it, you want me to run it through, feel free to email it to me. Just, I need the TIFF and could just check a couple of them and I can give you the results. It's not a problem. So, so we got the AstroWorld's exclusive of Tegan's tilt. So, so I want to say thank you to Tim and Josh who have donated to the Neptune raffle. So we got another bunch of entries in there. So and remember, all this cash for these entries go right to the next raffle. So the more people that buy entries, the bigger raffle prizes we'll have the next time. So Tom, I'm glad the 2600 doesn't bolt to the Zeta, so I could switch between the 2600 and MCP easily. Oh, well, okay.
It doesn't bolt on?
I mean, it can. I don't know why it couldn't. I know it can.
So I'm just kind of, because if I get the 2600, I'd be interested. Does it thread on?
I think he's using. I think he might be using a nose piece. What?
It's thread.
It's threaded.
Okay.
I have both of them.
Yeah, it's threaded, right? So it just screws on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, my 2600 will screw right onto that.
Oh, Scott talks.
Hey.
He's got his hyperstar out.
He's slowly but surely coming back to life.
No, Scott. Long time no talk, so good to hear from you.
Yeah, man.
Are you? I see you're settled in and everything. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How is? I dare ask, how's the 135? The Rainbow Astro.
Oh, I don't own a 135.
Yeah, the 300.
The 300? What is it?
Yeah.
There's the 300. Yes,
300.
The 300.
The one, 135 is the baby brother.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, have you been in Florida long enough to gather any data to set up, or
I haven't set up anything yet. In fact, I was talking to Dan today about it, and that's one of the things that we're going to be doing here, because I'm thinking the view that I've got, which is literally right out there. The view that I've got is pretty freaking amazing for Orion. I mean, Orion is sitting almost right above my head right now. And
Nice.
yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. And the angle, the view from the scope. I mean, I'm sitting due north right here, so I can polar align easily, and then I just flew right straight up and almost directly overhead probably to the west. To the east. Northeast is Orion, almost directly overhead, and so I'm planning on running some hyperstar for the Orion Nebula, and I just got this.
Then MBZ.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's actually I was a little scared that it wasn't going to fit, but that's the MBZ right there that goes inside the hyperstar. So I want to test both the MBZ and this one side by side.
Which one is that? Oh, the
Triad. Yeah.
So,
I don't think you'll get halos with either, but with the
No.
Triad, I've seen data with Triad and oh, that's a dog.
Yeah,
oh, that's a dog.
Whoa, we got a party caller?
yeah, that's a pit for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, my Australian is looking at me like, what is that?
Yeah.
He is literally like, what is that?
Yeah, what in the world? Hi, pup.
well, I look forward to seeing like first
back.
light from you, and for cause
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be setting up, Tegan. I just the move down to Florida, it just about damn near killed me. It was just rough. It was hard. Moving 6 states away, a 2,200 square foot house, I have 50 years worth of junk. It was hard. I needed a good couple of weeks just to decompress.
absolutely, I bet.
Yeah, but I'm definitely setting up. In fact, I was in the studio today, and digging stuff out, and I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to get this rig up onto that platform, up onto that patio. I've got a step up that's about that high that I need to figure out some kind of a ramp to be able to easily move the wheelie bar
On and
off of that ramp. But that's just a logistical thing, but yeah, that's in the works. We were talking about possibly getting it set up, running some tests, and then maybe on the channel here putting a live stack, running a live stack while we're talking.
That would be
So,
Yeah. Yep.
we'll see. Should be
Nice.
fun.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be a lot of fun. If you get that, and we'll like literally have like a little box right down here in the corner, on the bottom right or something, where the stream is going just from the telescope.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
One of the things that I wanted to get an idea on. Of course, I've got one of these bad boys.
the tri-bat. Yep.
But I originally had this one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and this one here I got for collimation. But there's an interesting problem. I don't know how to use this with this. I don't think I can.
I don't think you can.
Huh?
I don't think you
I don't
can.
think I can. I can't get this over, and unless this is just supposed to sit on top of the dew heater or the dew shield.
Yeah, you get it. You get it. No, I don't think you can do that.
I would say you collimate first natively at F7 or F10, and then
Wow, that is a tri-bat.
9, it transfers over.
Yeah, the tri-bat's the size of my tom.
Holy cow!
Yeah, that's the 14. But yeah, so I mean, collimation with this thing, fortunately it's got a pretty simple collimation setup, on this. These knurled thumb screws make collimating this thing pretty simple. I think that I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is going to come more in handy for collimating back when I get the secondary back in place.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm going to be able to use that tri-bat for this. I think I'm going to have to just.
You're gonna have to do some research on that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. So
You're gonna have to do some research on that. I'm not sure with the Hyperstar if you could actually use that. I don't think you'll be close enough, but that's
no.
I don't know. You'll just have to see. And I think Tegan's right. I think you got to collimate beforehand and then take the secondary out, and hopefully you don't, maraca it, and put it back the way it's supposed to be. So.
Well, I'm collimating this thing. This is the collimating on the secondary mirror isn't going to do me any good once I pull that thing out of there, because I'm going to be threading this thing onto the front.
Right.
So
that's what your 26 MC. That's what you're using for that, right?
Yeah,
2600 MC.
Yep.
Man, I sometimes sit and imagine what a 14-inch mirror at f1.9 would do.
We're gonna find out pretty soon.
Well, Scott, you may even want to go into just, cause since you got a ZWO camera with a scope of that size with the Hyperstar, you may want to try the beta in sharp cap for collimation and see if that works. I know that I believe that Dylan O'Donnell has a video using sharp cap for collimation.
It's a pretty good video. I've seen it
on Star Stuff. So you might want to check that out. Or refresh your mind if you've seen it. Because he really goes into deep detail on that. So is Eric back? No, his chair's still okay. But I think somebody tried to send me a picture. He said, "Oh, you want to see tilt? I got tilt," and they sent me a picture, but I can't use a JPEG. I need the fit file. So. Send me the fit and I'll throw it up there. It seems like it was a nice picture of the jellyfish, but we do have one picture that was sent in for us.
Live test.
Oh, the fit just came in. And they sent me the fit. Let me see if I can download it. Download anyway, and Eric just chimed back in again. So give me a second, Eric. And Eric is now only the green screen.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the green screen.
That's okay.
It's all good.
And a friend of mine said, let me show you tilt. I'll show you some tilt. So,
you want to see some tilt? I'll show you some tilt. I'll show you some tilt. I got some tilt for you.
Let's see. I guess it's got to be mono too. It won't do 32-bit pictures.
Will it do does it do stacked TIFF files, or does it have to be a subframe?
Actually, I never tried. I've always done subs. I could try real quick and see. I'm sure I have one stacked somewhere. I got a master light somewhere. Let me see, master light. Where's my Astro acquisition? And where is my? No. Q.
It's so frustrating because my images are my stars are perfect all the way to the edge of my on the left side of my field of view, but on the right side they're elongated.
Yeah.
The master light.
This OCal, I still haven't had a chance to get it outside yet to do some actual testing with the Nexstar, but from what I'm seeing from other people, this OCal works pretty darn well. This little OCal collimation camera for a lot of people, if you can get it, because they stopped selling it on Amazon. I don't think Amazon carries it anymore, so you have to go direct, I believe.
So I'm going to say yes, it'll do a stacked image, but it looks like all my stacked images are XIFF, so it's not reading it. So if it was a fit stack, yeah, it would do it.
Eric, you've got a couple of frames, don't you, that show tilt?
Oh yeah. Here, let me share my screen. Let's see. If I go to AsTap and let me go to one of my files. Okay, let's just do one out of here from the Rasa. SH2 129. Z. Right. All right, so this is a 300.
Hold on, let me get you up. Hold on a
Can
second.
you see me?
Oh, I got a good one too from Mark. So let's see, and you're on. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is AsTab.
Yep.
And if I go here to Tools and CCD Inspector.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Nice.
My eyes hurt.
Yeah. Look at that. 3.43.
Yeah, 3.43 down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, heck, let me see if I can do one better.
Better?
Yeah, or worse, whatever you want to call it.
Better in a bad way.
Yeah. Let me see.
Better example of terrible tilt.
Yeah, terrible tilt.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
There you
Whoa,
go.
man.
That
You
looks
flying
like a
kites
kite.
out there, Ray?
I know, right?
And let me just point something out with this program. And so whoever has AsTap, just if you have this version of AsTap, and I know I said this on a prior show,
Yeah.
do not get the newer version of AsTap keep the old one because they got rid of this version of CCD Inspector. It used to come with a really light version of CCD Inspector for free.
Yep.
And if you have this version, great. Keep it. Get the newer AsTap for your plate solver and put it in another directory somewhere. But keep this version because
Keep
it gives
this version around.
because the plate solving in AsTap is just ridiculously awesome. So it's super fast. If you haven't used it, I'd try it. Just if you overwrite your old program AsTap, you'll look for it and you're not going to find it.
That's a good idea. We should send them an email and ask them to put it back on as
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? They're probably selling it as an add-on now. So.
So this is what we talk about when for us Rasa users, and
So
Till,
sensitive.
this is probably my best one.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. You need one of those like metal shims that you just jam in there.
Yeah. Right. So.
But no, you guys do not do that. I was making a joke. Please don't. Okay,
no, that's one of the struggles with the Rasa.
This is the tilt on the camera sensor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off the Rasa. Yeah.
It's the tilt on the camera sensor. Isn't it on the ZWO cameras? Aren't there set screws that you can adjust?
Not on all cameras.
Not on all the cameras. Not on all of them.
The larger, the medium formats.
Yep.
The
but not for like my 533 and my 294.
The 62 and the 26, yes, but other than that,
I was going to say the 2600 has it.
Yeah, but anything under that doesn't. You'll have to buy the additional tilt plate if you can even get that on your barrel.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
And then the thing is with having the Rasa versus you can't. It's very difficult to collimate with the Rasa. Because if you have those tilt plates, they just set right up against the flange, so you can't get screws in or anything like that to manipulate anything. I mean, it's really, really difficult.
Yeah. So we got one more. And this person that sent it to me actually said something about tilt, but this really doesn't have anything to do with tilt. This has to do with curvature, and I'll share this one real quick. Screen one, and here we go.
We're talking about AsTap, Lloyd.
Yeah.
All right, so here's another picture that was sent to us by another watcher.
That's not even that bad.
It's not. It's not. I mean, your total tilt is at 8%, which is not so bad. However, your curvature is getting a little bit. You can crop it out. Don't get me wrong. But you're at 21% curvature, and I know who this is. I'll tell him flat off, change your adjustable flattener, you dope. And, just kidding. I'm just kidding. But But you're gonna want to do this if you're crazy like me. I'll do like 7, 8, 10 of these, and I'll just move that flattener, adjustable flattener, a millimeter, and then take a picture, take a shot. Did it get better? Did it get worse? And get it down to as low as I can.
Yeah.
So I got my curvature down to like under 5%, and my tilt under almost like under 5% too. So I mean. And that's good, but it's unfortunate but you got to remember that tilt and that curvature, unless you have other devices that are helping you stabilize that tilt more so than the curvature, that tilt is going to change throughout the course of the night based on your weighting on your back end. So, that's going to be something that everybody's going to have to deal with. And until you spend, 20,000 or more to make sure you got everything all set up right. We're all going to be battling with that for a while. So, and I'll get out of this.
At some point, you just have to accept it and just
Yep.
move on and start collecting data.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just
Sometimes you do.
collecting data.
It's kind of like when we say all the time, where we talk about the people that watch their PhD guiding graph and just watch it like a hawk, and like sitting there like, oh my god,
obsessed with it. Yeah,
I'm 0.9. I was 0.4 yesterday, and you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure it out, but your stars still look good. So I mean,
collect your data.
Yeah, collect your data. Exactly. Win the battles, you're gonna win. Fight the battles, you're gonna take care of. You got to learn which battles to fight. Again, remember what we started off with: what to stack and what not to stack. When to fight and when not to fight. Same thing. Read up on Sun Tzu. If you don't know who it is, check it out. Really cool stuff.
But see, this is the thing. These are the this is the type of stuff like with me, with Arasa and other Rasa users. We just say, okay, this is what it is. Let's just move on.
Let's go.
Let's just do some imaging.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's always going to be, we're always going to end up with, okay, round stars on the left and elongated stars slightly elongated stars on the right.
Yeah, just crop it out. Crop out that one side that's not, that's doesn't
not
have
so great.
And you could really turn a 533 into, a 16 by 9 photograph if you do that.
Yeah,
you only crop one side.
Will you stop it? Rectangular.
He hates that square center.
He hates that square center, man.
That's like the weird thing to me, like a square sensor.
I agree. I
don't like it either. I like 4/3.
Yeah. I like anything that looks like a movie screen. I don't like the whole
16 by 9.
We need an 18 by 9, like a 2 by 1.
Yeah. well, that's the ZWO next generation, So, but I mean, it's to what you said, Eric. Just get out there and start taking pictures, man, and and enjoy what you're doing. And again, it's not without its own trials and tribulations, because we all go through the same craziness of, oh my God. Somebody said it on a show the other night. I want to say it was Sean Nielsen, where he said there are some nights where things go off without a hitch, and you're out and you go to bed and everything. You wake up and you got 9 hours worth of data to go through, and then there are some nights where you go out there and, something happens because the scope isn't in the park position like it should be.
Yep.
And it just stopped. And why do I only have 26 subs on my, so things like that happen, but it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it does, but it does. And you just got to kind of, again, like Tegan said, get over it, deal with it, figure out what happened. Hopefully you get to the point where it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, you talked about hitches. I've got to ask this question to the collective group.
Who started in the 1982 movie The Hitcher? Sorry.
So today I got my portable platter drive. I've got 200 images, my raw stacks. Guess what? I dropped it on the floor.
Oh, shit.
I tried to plug it in, and guess what? It doesn't go. So now I got to figure out a place that I can send it to. And I understand that there's places out there that can take these platter drives and try to, but I don't know where they're at. Does anybody have any suggestions?
Wait,
I mean,
so what exactly happened? What'd you drop?
my platter drive. I had a small little platter drive,
Oh, geez.
something like this, that I had my original FITS files. I had my raw data files, my imaged files, my process files, and I dropped it and I tried to plug it back in, and it doesn't. The armature doesn't go across. So now I got to find a place that I can ship it to.
Does it spin at all? Because okay, so then what's going to happen is, I mean, I could do it, but I'm not gonna. You need to actually take the disc out and get an enclosure and put it into a place. You might have broke the arm.
Well, that's what I think I've done is I've broken the armature, and that's why I'm trying to say, is there a place that I can reach out to, send it to? Because I think that there's a couple of places, but they charge an arm and a leg.
Yeah, they do. I mean,
they
you
do.
can send it back to the manufacturer, like say a Western Dig or a Seagate or someone.
Yeah, but even they won't guarantee the data.
They won't they won't guarantee the data. But it's rough.
Oh, so Mark Ellis, you said data doctors, right, Mark? So do you have a phone number there that I can maybe give them a call? I mean, you talk about my heart just stopping, man, when I saw that.
Yeah, I know data doctors. We had in Camera Concepts, we had a recovery deal with them, and be careful with them. They're not. They don't guarantee the data either. You send them the data, you send them the disk, and you just cross your fingers, and they'll still charge you for it for even trying.
Really?
So unless they change over because we dumped them about 2 years ago because of their cost, and they wouldn't guarantee doing anything or refund it if they couldn't do it. Maybe they changed. Maybe Mark knows something I don't. But from what I know, they were really expensive, and you're 50-50.
Yeah. So hard drive specialists. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a company? Chris, is that a company or is it
Data Doctors? It's a large company. They have branches all over the West, Arizona, California.
Yeah, you literally call them and you mail it in, and you just hope and pray.
Yeah.
Pete, to make you feel better, I had I have a 4 terabyte external hard drive. It's not SSD. It's just a place where I store my photos, and I have to power it and plug it into my PC simultaneously to transfer data back and forth. Well, I accidentally grabbed the wrong power plug, and I lost about 2 terabytes of all of the data that I have collected since 2015.
Oh no!
Every single frame, every single final photo, everything.
Please say you backed it up somewhere.
No, of course not.
So
I guess this is the first time at like the voltage. I think was obviously the issue there.
Right.
Is there a way to recover that?
It depends on what you fried.
Well, I think it's just the circuit board. Like I haven't looked at it. I haven't taken.
If it's just the circuit board, I would just rip open the enclosure, take the hard drive out, and plug it into a computer.
That's a good point. I could try that.
I'd see if that works.
It happened in I have my it's a standard 5.5 by 2.1 jack, and I had my 5 amp out that I use for my mount, and then I have the 0.8 or the 1.2 that I have. And I just wasn't paying attention. I plugged it in, and I'm like what the fuck?
So it sounds like you fried the board inside the enclosure. So I would tell you that the odds are your data is probably safe. I would just rip it apart, pull the hard drive, get a SATA kind of adapter or a docking station, and pop it in there, and Brent sells a USB 3.5 2.5 dock. They just throw it in there, and
I've got one. You get those
right on Amazon.
on StarTech.com, and you can buy
StarTech too.
Yeah, you can buy them anywhere almost, and just pop it on in there and see what happens.
So Dan, are you saying then that what I should do here is just go ahead and open it up and see if the
wait, no, that's a 2.5 inch.
Yeah, that's the platter
drive. That's a baby one. Well, no, I thought you had a 3.5.
No,
The
no,
three
no,
and a
no,
half.
no. This is the 2.5. So that's why I said it's the armature in here because it's the platter drive. And I think it's the armature that goes
Yeah.
across that's busted.
Yeah, you would have to send that in. I wouldn't even be messing with that. I would never mess with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why I adopted Backblaze.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know, Backblade, and you know what, Tegan, talk to me
That
later.
was my backup. That was my backup.
Well, Tegan, let me tell you, I got about 17 or 18 terabytes over here. If you want a little nook in my you could drop everything in there and it'll be safe.
Yeah.
I have a fiber here, like it's not even close, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should be
I'll
able to
send you.
find a new enclosure for that, buddy. You know, it's really easy. If it's a 2.5 inch, it's just
Even if it's a 3.5 inch, you'll
Even
be
if it's a
fine.
3.5 inch.
Yeah.
You can buy enclosures, caddy enclosures.
Yep.
Yep. You might even be able to plug that. You got a tower? You
No,
might, if
I
you've got
don't.
a tower, you can plug it right into a tower.
Yeah. But,
Yeah,
if not, I would just go ahead and get
that dock.
inch. Yeah, go on Amazon or Best Buy or whatever,
There you
buy an enclosure and
$30, you're done.
Yeah, and you can then just check see what you got.
And then you only invested $30 to see if it's.
There's been so many images that I've wanted to go back and reprocess and
Sure.
you know what I probably have 10 maybe 12 images that I have access to now out of all the I don't know how many hours I've spent out in the field. I've wanted to go back and just look and add up all the collective hours I've spent.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if it surpassed 3,000 or 4,000 hours of total data.
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise, but and that's why, especially to Eric's point. I mean, Backblaze. I've had Backblaze for 2 years now, and you what is it? What is it, like $100 a year?
Something like that. Yeah.
And the thing that's great about it is it backs up whatever hard drive is hooked up to your computer, whether it's an external or not.
Yep.
So whatever hard drive, if you could have 20 hard drives hooked up to that, and it will back up every single one of them.
As long as it's directly connected to the computer, it will.
Yeah, it's got to be directly connected.
Yeah.
So
Because it won't do my NAS.
No, it won't do the NAS.
Do the NAS. But any directly, my USB caddy, all that,
Yep.
it will grab them.
All that. I have like 5 different hard drives that are connected directly, and it does them all. They do them all.
Yep.
So I got 3 inside, 2 outside. So
no, yeah, I would recommend any type of if you gotta find a good cloud backup service, go for it.
Yep.
It took me about a week, almost 2 weeks. For it to back up everything of mine.
Oh yeah,
it's done. So,
Bob,
I think you can get? You can buy multiple licenses.
You will buy. Yeah, you have to buy multiple. It's not going to be on. It could be under the same account, but you'll pay $99 per computer.
Per computer, right?
Yeah, unless if you have the entire computer daisy chained, it is. But that's not going to happen in real life. So I mean. It's going to be $99 for every hard drive for each computer.
Yeah.
As far as I know, unless they change something with, and I'm kind of annoyed at Backblaze because I was one of the guys that bought the IPO for Backblaze, and it went up to $35. Bought it at $16. Now it's down to $13. I lost $3 a share.
Wow.
So.
Hey. That's Vegas for you, man.
Yeah, I know. Of course, it's the first IPO I ever entered, but
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do?
We're coming up on 11 o'clock.
Yep, we are.
Let's go do round robin, final thoughts, and then we'll talk a little bit about the guests and the raffle again. We'll get out.
Okay.
So
no thoughts for me necessarily.
No final thoughts for Tegan. That was
besides backup your backup.
Yep. Always backup. Triple redundancy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Triple. So you should have a backup. You should have your regular data, a local backup, and a cloud backup.
Yeah.
That's what you should have to make sure that everything is good.
Yep. Storage, man. Invest in a storage company.
Yep. Exactly. Just I'm doing well. Buy back plays now. I don't think it could go any lower than $13 a share. So, but
Dan's advice is just sell now. Just
no, I should have sold when it
Buy
was
now.
35
Buy
a share.
Buy
I
now,
should.
Yeah.
Buy now.
I knew it was going to go up. I bought it at 16. I knew it was going to go up. I didn't think it was going to be crashing in 3 months. But what are you going to do?
Hey, that's what happens, man. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's Vegas, man.
It is Vegas. That's okay. It'll be all right. Scott, you got anything?
Don't move.
Scott, you there?
Is he awake?
No, he's frozen.
Am I?
There he is.
Oh,
there
now you're back.
There we go.
Oh my God, you just jumped in front of me. I
Yeah,
thought it was.
it was like he was back here. He was, hi!
I thought it was in the ring. Now he's frozen again.
I know, right? Dude, I thought being down in Florida, you'd have better internet. What's up with that?
Yeah.
The internet is, you know,
Yeah.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
all right,
This is
all right.
a commercial on TV.
All right. Now we got what's his name? What is his name? Who's the guy from the 80s?
Yeah, who? Max Headroom?
Max Headroom. There you go.
Good talk, Scott.
Pete, you got anything, Pete?
Well, just the fact that I've been on the phone with Bob Denny the last couple of days, and he's definitely going to be coming on. And the interesting thing about Bob Denny, he's the author of Alpaca. So he's going to definitely be coming on and giving us a little talk about alpaca and what alpaca
Little rundown.
coming down the pipe in the next 3 to 5 years. So it's going to be interesting having him on. But
Nice.
other than that, you know what? Oh, wait a minute. Chris has got something here.
Yeah,
So,
I'm looking for it.
yeah, let's take a look at this. Thanks, Chris. Let's take a look and we'll see.
Oh, I got it. It's an HDR of Orion. And let's see if I can get this. Okay, so. And we'll share screen 2. Share. And there we go.
Ooh.
And let's see if I can get in there a little bit. There we go.
Nice.
Full res. You're about to open a large file. It might take several seconds. That's okay. We can do that. My computer kicks butt, so I'm not worried about it. All right, let's see. Let's see, Chris. Let's see the trapezium here.
There it is.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow. Sweet.
Look at that. I can't get closer. I want to see E and F.
Oh, You'll see them. They're there.
I
Yep.
think
Yeah.
I was able to resolve E and F in one of my recent ones with the 10-inch nude, but
You missed it. Chris sent a picture of E and F that he took a shot of it. That was like last week, I think.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit and see.
Nice star color. Look at the star colors.
Yep. Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice. The only suggestions I can think, Chris, that I would recommend is sharpen it up just a little bit and just pull up the saturation just about another 5 to 8%. I think you'll have it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can bring out the red a little bit.
Yep. And
Yep.
just add a little contrast. Just add a little bit more contrast. And I think you're going to see this picture pop. But other than that, the detail's nice. Star color's nice.
Nicely done,
That's
sir.
a nice image.
That
I
was
swear,
very good.
I always look at this and it reminds me of the heart, right? I can see the ventricles and the aortas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? I mean, look at that.
Yep. Looks very, very nice, Chris.
Very nice.
Yeah. I think this is HA and RGB, isn't it?
I think it's
LRGB.
LRGB.
It's LRGB.
Cool. Very nice. Nice
Yeah.
job, Chris.
Very nice.
Yeah, congrats on that one. That was a good one.
All right. All right. Eric, final thoughts?
No final thoughts until next week. Then I'll have another surprise for everybody.
Well, hopefully.
Oh,
Hopefully,
Not Friday. Maybe by next Friday, I'll have something to share.
Oh, hopefully I can get something with these bad boys. Hopefully, I'm hoping Saturday, and that's what I'm shooting for. Saturday looks like it's going to be finally decent here.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna take flats. I'm not gonna do anything. It's just gonna be a total raw image, and a total. I might do like a he's doing a jig.
Tegan's like, hey.
You know what? I might not even need 2-inch filters if I'm getting the 5-33. So
There you go. Yeah, you can get the 36 millimeters. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then what is the start time? So the show starts on Wednesday nights. We start at 9 p.m. Eastern, and on Friday nights we start at 8 p.m. Eastern. So feel free to come join us, Josh. And then don't forget
Bring your questions.
Yes, bring more pics and images and stuff like that. We really didn't ask for any tonight. We will ask for some, I promise, for Friday's show, for the beginners chat. Just so you know, Josh, since you are basically a newer viewer from what I could see, our Friday nights are more geared towards beginner chat, and our Wednesday nights the technical garble kind of stuff. And usually we only have 4 people. Tonight you were lucky to grab Tegan, so Tegan came on to hang out. And then don't forget, you only got 9 days left to get your chances for the Player One planetary camera, the Neptune C2. It's like a 290, so it's a decent planetary camera with the 1 1/4 UV IR cut filter. You could send that to PayPal at AstroWorldWeb.com, or Cash App if you want Cash App. Email me or text me separately.
Get on that raffle, guys. That Player One, it'll take you straight to the Oasis.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my God, here you go. He's gonna bring Shoto out. He's the one that survived, right? The other one died.
No, Show did die.
Show died. Okay. All right, that's close. I forgot. One of them died. But yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Ready Player One is a really cool book. Go get it. Yeah, and if you're a Rush fan, you'll love it.
Yeah.
So
were you about to say something?
No, I was just going to ask, do we get any new viewership since last week?
Yeah. We're getting an average of like 2 or 3 a day. Yeah. That's what we're averaging now, but we're still not at the 1,000 mark. We're in the 970s still.
Yeah.
What was the entry limit on the raffle? The entry limit is a max of 10 chances. So if you bought 2, you could buy 8 more. And if you remember how I did it last time, I actually put a number next to your name. So I'll know if you got more than 10 chances. So it's going to be an interesting. We got a couple of people out there that bought 10 already. So that was kind of cool.
So thank you for all the new subscribers, the guys who just joined us. Josh, looks like you're a new subscriber who just joined.
Lloyd.
So, this is great. Keep telling your fellow Astro friends about us. We really appreciate the support, guys.
Let me see if we got anything more tonight. Let's see. So we got one more since the show started. So
hey.
So we're not very far from the 1,000 subscribers. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, special show on Tuesday night. Special AstroWorld show on Tuesday night.
I'm looking forward to this one.
So Tuesday night, I forgot all about it. Oh my God, I didn't even put it on the schedule. Tuesday night at 8 o'clock on Visible Dark, AstroWorld will be guests on Visible Dark, Sean Nielsen's Astro Chat. So everybody that's on AstroWorld as a co-host is more than welcome to come join us. But it's going to be 8 o'clock p.m. He uses Melon as well, so it's the same type of interface. 8 o'clock, and we're going to be actually the guests, which is going to be kind of weird.
Kind of weird.
So it's going to be fun though. It's going to be like an hour, 8 to 9. We're going to hang out and definitely pass the word along and come hang out with us, and not
Eastern.
that, yeah, all Eastern, 8 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, Sean's on Eastern time as well.
Okay.
So that's gonna be good. So don't forget that's gonna be Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. And then right after that, on the 9th, I believe that's the next night, we have Dr. Sass from iTelescope going to come and give us a rundown on iTelescope and what it could do for us in the Northern Hemisphere to get those lovely Southern Hemisphere objects that we just can't get unless you want to fly somewhere.
We want to fly down to
Yeah, Chile or
Chile
South
or
America, or,
Australia or somewhere like that.
So if you want the Dragons of Ara, you might want to have to do something like this. It's a very, very cool service. And then we got Ruman and Roland and Hendrick and Charles Bracken all coming up. And I'm still trying to I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with Neef.
Okay.
So with the Prima Luce trio, I'm not sure what's going on yet. So that's going to be coming very soon. I'll have a date. And we'll get that sorted as well. And we got some other stuff going on in the works. Thank you so much to our sponsor at Woodland Hills and Telescopes. And thank you for High Point Scientific as well. We are an affiliate with them as well. So thank you, everybody. If we got anything else?
No. So, hey, have they started selling the tickets for NEAC? I know they started selling the tickets for NEAC.
Not yet.
Not for NEAC.
Not yet. NEAC has not gone on for sale yet. NEAF is out for sale. And if I am a good judge of character, and I think people are itching to be at a NEAF type situation, so I can see these tickets going very fast. So if you're thinking about going, pull the trigger on a day, pull the trigger on the weekend, just go. I believe everybody needs to wear masks or something like that. Go look. There's something on the site regarding COVID-19 protocols and all that kind of stuff. So just be aware of that before you go.
Yep.
And other than that, that's about it.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, fellas. Everybody, have a good night. Be safe. Go out and shoot some cameras. Go out and shoot some shots. And remember, as always, keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you Tuesday night on Astro Chat. Have a good night, guys.
Stay warm, everybody.
Bye-bye. Next.